What is up, everybody? My eyebrows messed up. Yo, my neck got mad.
You don't want me, man.
So apparently, got my notebook of new stuff. First, I'm going to show my new comic. Beautiful. I'm trying to get comic books from home. This one comics I got on eBay. I also I don't have it yet, but I'm getting the X23. Really big comic book fan, and you know the X23 is have a Wolverine suit. Instagram, I've been talking about making comics and all that. Here's one of the covers for the New Mutants. This one's the cover. I have one page of one piece of this one. So Fire Thing, I have a whole comic book on her. It explains her origin. I have a mutant. This is my whole drawing. I've obviously, kind of gotten better. So on the Wattpad, I have a lot of stories going on the New Mutants, and I also have on Instagram. Her name is Tommy. I forgot her last name, but her character. If you're on Instagram and you're into My Hero Academia, she was initially I had asked her if she could be if I could use her character, and luckily I said Wattpad storylines, comics, and films, and etc. She said yes. Thankfully she said yes. So now Hitami, which is Blue Moon, is a part of the Superverse. I have a lot new characters that I'm gonna be introducing in the films. Comic books, they're gonna be coming out on the channel. I have issue 1 for each one. The New Mutants, they have issue 1. The Mutant, he has issue 1. Firefang, she has issue 1. Issue 2 for Firefang, you'll really dive deep into how she feels about her powers, how she thinks that she's the only teenager with them, and she ends up meeting another teenager with powers as well. Okay, anyways, we got a lot of news, alright? We got Marvel, WWE, Jurassic World, got some new news on my channel. We got some Dragon Ball Z news, so I'm gonna start up with this Dragon Ball Z stuff. I mean, I don't know all the characters, but I know a majority of them. And they had said that Disney was gonna reboot Dragon Ball Z and make it into a movie. Okay, seeing Sony and what they did, please, God, please, I don't want them to redo Dragon Ball Z. That movie should just be left alone. Just let it be an anime. It needs to stay in anime. Alright? Nothing else. In the Sony release, which I think it was either Fox or Sony, but they had, it's a few years back. It was a decade back, I think. Dragon Ball Z had been released. The movie was absolutely horrible. Jeez, I went to review for it on Big Jack Film because, sometimes I do that for older movies. Excuse me. For older movies, but I don't watch the newer ones, so I was watching the review on it. It was god awful. They put him in present times when they shouldn't have. They should have just put him, where it actually started from. He came from another planet. I know he had the type of origin of Superman, but Man of Steel, instead of, like, people may criticize Man of Steel however they want to. When have you seen a Superman film that actually dives deep into how he felt when he was a child, about his parents, like, telling him that he has to hold back, that he can't fight off against bullies or anything like that? In one of the movies, in one of the scenes, he's getting pushed around by the bullies and all that. Obviously, he's holding back, and it was like a certain shot where he was on the ground, and when he went to get up, he was gripping the fence, and it had bent. And he was saying, I wanted to punch him so bad, and he was like, I know you did, but you can't, because then you'll kill them by accident. It didn't dive deep into that. I felt like it should have dove deep into that. How are you gonna, the only one that I can say that actually fit as an anime adaptation, well, a movie adaptation of the anime, is Alita. I think it's Alita. It's the Battle Angel. Something the Battle Angel. That's what it is. That's the only one that I actually saw that was really good. It was an anime movie. The MCU. I heard it's gonna be god awful. Like, my god. Like, I've seen there are rumors that Captain Marvel's gonna be part of the X-Men. I'm like, why is Captain Marvel part of the X-Men if she's part of the Avengers? Because then, if they're having her in the X-Men, then they're probably going for Jean Grey when she takes her powers. That's the only thing that I could see, which I kind of doubt, because they're trying to make, oh yeah, Captain Marvel needs to be the big picture in Marvel now, which makes no sense. It should go to the people I'm thinking, which they shouldn't, like they were saying that Captain Marvel is going to be the new leader of the Avengers. They shouldn't even have that. They should have Falcon. He was originally the leader when he became Captain America, which now they're going with that storyline. And when it was Avengers Endgame, the end, Avengers Endgame, Captain America giving him the shield. And then they're saying that with the Fantastic Four, they're gonna screw them over. Oh my god. He said, oh, we're already gonna have them with their powers. Like, what? I don't want to see that. I want to see them get their powers. And they said, oh, we're gonna treat it like Spider-Man Homecoming, and that doesn't make sense, because because a lot of people, they don't know who the Fantastic Four is. My friend thought that they were in DC, and he didn't even know all the members. All he knew was Thing. And he said the yellow rock guy, or the orange rock guy. And I was like, who the hell are you talking about? They need to explain his origin. Spider-Man is well known. The Fantastic Four isn't well known. They're one of the big teams, but they're not well known. The X-Men, oh my god, please, my lord, I hope they don't try to screw them over. Because it seems like having Captain Marvel, oh yeah, we need stronger women. Yeah, stronger women in the that's probably, yeah, sweat stain, bro. It's hot up in this bitch. They were saying, they're like, oh, we need stronger women. No, the X-Men is full of strong women. Just add in those women. It's that easy. Like, Jean Grey, she can take on Captain Marvel. She can beat her. She's one of the only characters that can physically beat her. Who else? You got Wolverine. Wolverine's a badass. He's killed the entire team before. In the Old Man Logan storyline, he killed the entire X-Men team because Mysterio, he did his special effects and all that and made Wolverine go berserk. Bro, and then people are saying, oh my god, we need Hugh Jackman in there. Oh my god, if they don't put Hugh Jackman in there, I'm dropping the MCU. And I was like, dude, he said he's not doing it. Stop trying to force it. Like, he's not doing it. He had said on an interview that if they had contacted him 5 years earlier, he would have done it. You say, yeah, I would have done it, but now it goes to a different character because it ended with Logan, and that wouldn't make any sense if they're putting in the Fox Wolverine in the MCU because first of all, how the hell did he come back to life? Second, where the hell is X-23? I want to see X-23 in the big screens. She deserves to be um in Marvel right now. I would love to see, you know, a teenage Laura Kinney in Marvel right now, especially the MCU. I, if they're going by years, because it was like 5 years earlier off of Avengers Infinity War, so it was 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I mean, if they were going by Logan, she would be in by by Avengers timeline, like the MCU timeline. She would be in by 2029 because in Logan, the movie takes place in 2029. And if they add her, it will be the year will be 2029. Ugh. Whew. Whew. But they have to get their shit together. Like they try to say, Reed Richards and what's her face, Invisible Woman. I forgot her name. Sue Storm, I think that's her name. That they end up having a baby or something like that. Then he ends up being Caucasian, and he ends up replacing Black Panther as a new character, as a new black main superhero. And it's like, dude, just leave Black Panther because you're gonna get a lot of backlash off of that. Just leave Black Panther. Have Namor still in it. He can have his standalone films. So can Falcon. Like it's like the Hawkeye dilemma. Oh yeah, Black Widow got her movie, but she died, and it's like, oh yeah, oh how come I don't get my movie? But screw Jeremy Renner. You know, he went through he divorced his wife. It was no, his wife divorced him actually, but it was off of hold on, it was off of a lot of things like like so much saliva. It was what was it about? He was doing drugs while his daughter was in the house. Like while he was watching her, he had women over. This is all while his daughter was in the house and not his wife. He had women over. He did drugs. He shot a gun in the roof, like on the ceiling, while his daughter was in the same room. And it was like, it's crazy. Like it was just crazy. Like how can someone do this? And they're like pretending to be the good guy and all that. Like they're pretending, oh yeah, I'm doing this stuff good. Well, meanwhile, all these years he was doing all this. It's crazy. Like now we know who he is behind closed doors. And hopefully he will be kicked out of Hawkeye, off of the series, and he will be replaced with somebody else. And Haley Steinfeld, she would be playing Kate Bishop, which ends up being Hawkeye. And I would love to see that. There are a lot of characters I would love to see in the MCU, especially Gwenpool. But Gwenpool, I think she deserves to be in the MCU. She's a really underrated character. I actually got this figure when me and my family went to go watch Avengers Endgame on opening weekend, the best weekend ever, especially to watch an Avengers movie. Who the hell is this? I don't know who Gabe is. It's like Messenger. Random people be texting me and all that. Oh, you want to have sex, bro? 16. You're good. I'll report you. WWE releases. I heard about this. There were a lot of wrestlers being released, employees. Heath Slater got released. And I was like, damn, I think Rhino got released. It was like half of the roster got released, including other employees and all that. Who else got released? It was a bunch of people. I know Heath Slater was one of them. Yeah, Rhino, I think he was one of them too. It was a lot of people though. Rusev, he got released, and I was like, bro, he got released. I think Apollo Crews, because lately he's been he's qualifying for the Money in the Bank ladder match. He beat MVP. Hopefully they give him a push. They give him the Money in the Bank briefcase. Hopefully, I'm hoping, and then he cashes it in on Drew McIntyre. You know, even though I would love for Drew McIntyre to get it back, I want to see Apollo Crews get that push. He definitely needs that push. You know, Sin Cara, he was in the WWE. He totally deserved the push. Kalisto, he only had like 3 title reigns. One of them being the tag team champions, or the NXT tag team champions. Then it was Intercontinental. Then it was United States. And I was like, dude, if you want him to go higher than that, get him to World Heavyweight Championship level. Like, he was initially supposed to replace Rey Mysterio. He was supposed to be, you know, lucha libre of WWE. So was Sin Cara. He was supposed to be the lucha libre of WWE. And you know, it's crazy to see because you know, Sin Cara, he had a good rivalry. He had like a couple of good rivalries. He could have won. I heard he had one with Sheamus, and I was like, dude, you know, it's not. Why are you trying to push Sheamus into beating Sin Cara? Like, just make Sin Cara win. It's not hard. You don't need him to lose, because in every matchup he always loses. Last time I seen him win a match by himself was what when no, not when he went against himself. That was a stupid match when he went against himself. Sin Cara versus Sin Cara. Like, what? That's stupid. Like, bro, like, you're really making a joke out of him. I believe it was an NXT Championship belts. That was his last one, I believe. And he didn't even win. Kalisto pinned one of the Ascension members. And that's why my CCW wrestling series, he's actually going to get a push. Him, Apollo Crews, one of my characters, or customized characters, Joe Schmo, which is me. Who else? Like, a lot, because it was like certain wrestlers, they need a push. Kalisto, in a couple of my games, he's a world heavyweight champion. And it's like, what I like about the video games is that they raise once you get that wrestler to a good enough level, and I don't mean like, oh yeah, leveling up like 1, 2, 3. No, you get him certain titles, you get him Money in the Bank contracts, you make him Royal Rumble winner, you beat certain superstars to get up there. He ends up being in one of the highest matches, because what I had in the game, this was way before CCW. I think it was during Christmas. This is way before the game CCW, because I had stop motion a long time ago. It was like 3 or 4 years ago. You know, I had Sin Cara beat a couple characters, and he was a champion, and he wasn't the champion afterwards, and he ended up going against Goldberg, and I was like, damn, you going up against Goldberg. Then he went up against people like Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. I think one of the matches he ended up going up against Kofi Kingston or something like that. And also on the topic of WWE, I'm about to move on, but Kofi Kingston, when he lost to Brock Lesnar, I know this was a long time ago, but they shouldn't have let Brock Lesnar win. They should have made him lose. They I understand Drew McIntyre needed that push, but so did Kofi Kingston. Him being one-time world heavyweight champion, that doesn't really put anything under his belt. Um, I want him to win the championship more than once, especially the world heavyweight. Seeing that he fought Daniel Bryan, which is one of the biggest names in the company, starting from the early 2000s. Well, not the early 2000s. It was like 2010 and on. It was like the last 10 years. He's been around in the company. Um, I want to see him fight Drew McIntyre. I think that would be a good match. All right, now moving on from that, Jurassic World Dominion photos. Ooh, from Colin Trevorrow. This is so beautiful. Now, for the first time ever, and it's amazing, there are snow scenes in Jurassic World. I am pumped up for that. That is, no matter what anyone says, that is amazing. That is awesome. All right, having snow scenes, especially for the first time ever in a Jurassic film, is amazing. I the first ever. I believe I was the first one on YouTube, even out of the Jurassic World films. I was the first one who actually when I put out Jurassic World 3 Fallen Kingdom. It was during winter. There were fight scenes in winter. There was snow everywhere. There was a chase scene with the Velociraptors in a field of snow. It was awesome. I loved it. And it gave me, Jurassic World 3, they gave me more of a, not Jurassic Park 3 feel, but more of a The Lost World type feel. I always watch my films, maybe like 10 to 15 minutes of them, to see what I can improve on, or I skim through them and see how I did this, how I did that, how I can improve off of my filming. That's why over the years they have gotten better. Because at first, Jurassic World Exhibition, even though it was my first film, I did pretty damn well for it being my first time actually filming a full movie for 30 minutes. I did pretty damn good. I saw what I had done a lot. I showed my hands a lot. I did these things a lot, and it actually helped me improve with come to Jurassic World 2 Escape from Isla Nublar. It helped me improve a bunch, especially with louder music. I still needed to improve on sound effects. I've just gotten that down. Especially with Jurassic World Reborn and Jurassic World End of the Line. That I have improved. But getting off the topic, I'm talking about my stuff instead of Universal's Jurassic Park. Jurassic World, Sam Neill is back in there. Laura Dern, I think that's her name, Laura Dern. She's back in. Jeff Goldblum is back in. I forgot his name. It's Joey. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but he was Tim in Jurassic Park. He's returning. Chris Pratt had said it's like the Avengers Endgame for dinosaur fans, and I was like, yes, bro. I was like, I'm so pumped up for it. Like and there was a leaked script for it. I don't really want to talk about it. Hopefully, it is not real. Hopefully it is not real. It was, I don't know if it's rumored, but it was on the Universal Studios website, which, it was crazy. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, they're going to have to fix a few things because they can't make the same mistakes that they did with Fallen Kingdom. Because Fallen Kingdom, bro, I'm so dedicated to watch every single trailer of it. I watched every single TV spot. There were like 20 or something like that, 20 or 30. Maybe I'm overreacting, but there were a lot. Plus, there were 3 trailers. I watched all of it. The only thing that was unexpected to me was that Maisie was a clone. That was the only thing that I didn't expect. Everything else I knew. I knew when and where it was. That's why with Jurassic World 3 Fallen Kingdom, I predicted everything. Almost everything. I didn't even know it. I had Seth, which is returning in Jurassic World 6, and End of an Era. I had his uncle die in Jurassic World 3, Fallen Kingdom. I did not realize that I had predicted what had happened. And I was looking back at my movie, I was like, holy shit, I predicted everything. I was like, holy fucking shit. I was like, there were a couple minor scenes I didn't predict, and there were a couple scenes I did take from the trailer. But other than that, I predicted everything. Except for there being a survivor on Jurassic World, on the island. I basically took that from Jurassic Park 3. It was a fun experience to, it's always a fun experience to film a movie, especially one that you enjoy. Jurassic World Reborn, it has less than 100. No, it has less than 200 actually. You should check it out. It'll give you probably a fun experience, even though you haven't watched the entire movie series. It can give you like a restart because now there was Jurassic World Reborn, and there were also new characters. There was only one old character, and that was Dr. Grant. There was Dr. Grant, then there was Owen Grady, and I forgot what The Rock's name was. I had The Rock in the movie. He was in it, and then I had that was like his second time dying in one of my movies. Kong was the first one he didn't die in. I didn't have The Rock in Godzilla vs. King Kong, but Davis was initially supposed to be The Rock. That's what it was supposed to be. It's supposed to all the new 3 movies are supposed to initially end the series and my Jurassic World series, but it's also supposed to go into a new dinosaur series because Godzilla and Jurassic World are the OGs of my YouTube channel. Marvelous, Jurassic World and Godzilla, they were the OGs. Wrestling is starting to come into this, starting to squeeze its way into my YouTube channel. Damn, I burped again. Superhero movies are starting to come into my channel. I want to get a lot of views, a lot of likes. The highest views I've gotten is actually 30, which is horrible. Wait, no, not 30, because The Horde was actually the first supervillain film I had on my YouTube channel that was live action. It was actually my first 24-hour film. There was a lot to improve on it, especially background story, but, all the Superverse movies are going to star me in it, except for the female ones. Like, right now in Phase 1, they're all going to star me, but then by the Guardians, there will be new characters that will be replacing me. Except for the mutant, I'm still going to be the mutant. Ultraman, I don't know, I might still have to be Ultraman. Who else? Lightning Rod will be coming out maybe in maybe this year or next year. This is definitely it actually started in 2018 with the Superverse. Um, like the film series and all that, and then 2018 was the first year. 2019, no Superverse movies actually debuted. Wait, no, it was last year the film series got introduced with the Horde. Then it was for a really long time I didn't film anything until I got the idea for the Mutant in January. Um, and then Ultraman came about like 1 or 2 months ago. And anyways, I'm getting off the topic. I wanted to talk about all this at the end of the video. I will still be talking about this because I have more. I just have more to talk about. MCU genders swap. Um, okay, buddy. Um, here, here's the issue. She-Hulk cannot replace Hulk. Captain Marvel cannot replace Captain America. Jane cannot replace Thor. No, I understand Iron Man because he was replaced by a woman. Pepper Potts was actually. Then it ended up being I forgot her name, but it was Ironheart. That's who it was. Um, her initially, I understand. Hawkeye, I actually do understand that, but it's getting annoying because Black Panther. I heard he was getting fired, actually. That he was gonna leave the MCU because Shuri was gonna replace him in the MCU films, which is that makes no sense at all. It doesn't. It can't make any sense. He was in 4 movies. Fifth one coming out soon, which is Black Panther 2. You need to get him with 3 movies. You need to get him in more Avengers films. He needs to be a part of the new Avengers. New Avengers, I don't want it to be more women than men like how it was in the first Avengers. Oh yeah, the only male that's in it is Falcon. I don't want to see that. Ant-Man and the Wasp, they need to be in the new Avengers. Um, She-Hulk, I don't, she does deserve to be in the MCU. It's just her replacing Hulk makes no sense. That's what doesn't make any sense. Because that's the reason why she's here is to replace Hulk. Luckily, in the comics, they never did that. In the movies, sadly, I bet they will do that. Because Captain Marvel, I don't know how or why, is supposed to replace Captain America. Captain America is more easygoing than Captain Marvel. It's just I believe Marvel will end with the with Avengers Endgame. That's how I feel. Me and my mom, we were talking about it, and she was saying, maybe it was because this can't happen. Stan Lee had, even though he wasn't the film director, he controlled the characters and what they did, and they would have to go through Stan Lee for it to be okay. I believe that because it's his characters that are being introduced in here. I mean, not all of them, but a majority of them are. Um, there was also news about the X-Men name change. So, I was kind of when I first looked at it, I was like, okay, I was like the X-Men name change. I was like, what are they gonna change it to? X-Force or something like that? And then I kept on reading through it, and it was saying, oh, that the X-Men is not feminine enough, and I lost my shit. Okay? I lost my fucking shit. I was like, what the fuck do you mean? I was like, holy fuck. The X-Men is full of women that are strong enough to defeat the Hulk. The fuck do you mean? Jean Grey, she was about to, who was it? I forgot her fucking storyline, but she was supposed to go against some other it was like a higher power in the universe. I forgot who it was, but the X-Men had to fight for her, and then Jean Grey ended up killing herself just to save her friends and all that. But you know, it's like, what the hell was the point of getting the name then if you're not gonna use it? You should just leave it at X-Men, okay? Leave it at X-Men. There's no point in putting it as oh X-Women. Who does that? No one does that, because that's fucking stupid. Who the fuck does that? I was like, then what the fuck was the point of getting the license for it? That makes no sense. You might as well just call it something else. You know, they could add X-Force New Mutants, but no, they're like, oh yeah, it's too feminine because it's full of men, even though there are more women than men, I think. Which makes no sense. They're women strong enough to beat men in the comics. I mean, Jean Grey takes out the entire X-Men. Or no, Wanda Maximoff takes out the entire X-Men, but you know, that's whatever. Alright, I'm doing a new Marvel stop motion series. That's why I took out my Gwenpool. Just shows up on the camera. Excuse me, damn. I'm making my own Marvel stop motion series. It's coming up soon. It will be having the X-Men in it, not the X-Women. Okay, even though there's no such thing. It probably is. I just don't know about it. The X-Men are gonna be in it. The Avengers are gonna be in it. Thanos is gonna be in it. Ego's gonna be in it. A lot of characters are gonna be in it. And there's gonna be like a lot of comic book characters that I would love to see on screen. You know, and you know, don't get mad if your favorite character dies in my Marvel series, because just know they're not my favorite. Like, oh, what a coincidence, I got Captain Marvel. Huh, wink wink, nudge nudge. You know, a Marvel series going down soon. Remember, I got these comic books, so it's getting done. These two are already done, and I have Wattpad stories with a new series called Superverse Origins, because I got inspired off of X-Men Origins Wolverine. There will also be a video coming out on how the Superverse was created. And it is a great story to tell, because it also explains my rage and how the first ever superhero was not the mutant. I don't know if I said in my other videos that the mutant was the first superhero, but he was not. And I had remembered, I don't know if I saw the comic for it, but I had the comic halfway done. And it shows one of the characters that I redid, and one of my first characters, which was actually a female. I will be explaining that in the next video. Next movie to be released is, you know, I can't decide whether it will be Electrified Zilla or Jurassic World 6, End of an Era. I believe it's on CCW. The next pay-per-view will be coming out after the next episode. And then once the year is over for CCW, once WrestleMania is over, draft will be coming up and the new CCW brand will be on, and my chair keeps on squeaking. So once I get my X-23 figure, I will be scripting for the newest not Superverse. Oh my god, for the new Marvel film. They're not really gonna be that long. They're gonna probably be like 10 minutes max, maybe, and they'll probably be spread out into parts. And on Wattpad, the Superverse stories will be in like volumes. Like instead of having like issues in the comics, they're gonna be like volume 1, volume 2, volume 3. Um, a link for the playlist will be down below. And I hope all you guys be safe. I hope you guys, have the best time you can right now without hanging out with people, and don't be sick.